Hello everyone, hope you all are good and hope that you have studied the previous chapter which was cash book and its types properly, that we have completed in the last lecture, and today we are going to start with a new chapter. As I said in the last lecture itself, that the next session that we are going to have is of journal proper, which is chapter 8 from part 1, the type of subsidiary book. Journal proper. Yes, of course, not a new word. You have heard this word several times since we have started subsidiary books. Yes, many transactions which you were not recording in subsidiary books and you were writing the notes for. That purchase of an asset will be recorded in journal proper, and also in cash book we had several points. At some point we had about journal proper, that this journal entry will be recorded in journal proper and this will not be recorded in cash book. Yeah, probably about endorsement of the transaction of endorsement that we had. Yeah, so finally this is the chapter for journal proper, chapter 8 part 1, page number 191. All right, so it says that we have studied different subsidiary books in the chapter on subsidiary books. Journal proper is also a type of subsidiary book. Let us write down the important points here. The very first point says that journal proper is also a type of subsidiary book. You know this very well. You may please write these points. All right, the next point says, now first point, you already know, I have already explained this in the chapter of subsidiary books. Then journal proper is kept in order to record those transactions which cannot be recorded in purchase book, sales book, purchase returns book, sales returns book, cash book, petty cash book, bills receivable or bills payable. So in short, transactions which cannot be recorded in any other subsidiary books is recorded in journal proper. Yes, they have clearly written the transactions which are not recorded in purchase book, sales book, purchase return book, सेल्स रिटर्न बुक, कैश बुक, मतलब वो सारी सब्सिडरी बुक्स आ गए. तो जो भी ट्रांजेक्शन किसी भी बुक में रिकॉर्ड नहीं किए जाएंगे वो रिकॉर्ड किए जाते हैं जर्नल प्रॉपर में. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट दैट यू हैव, that is just an example. So let us move towards the meaning of journal proper directly. The subsidiary book in which the transactions which are not recorded in any other subsidiary book are recorded is known as journal proper. So that is the definition that I have already explained. Journal proper is used for very limited number of transactions. The format of journal proper the specimen we are talking about. Format of journal proper is same as of जर्नल. जर्नल का फॉर्मेट क्या है? डेट, पर्टिकुलर्स, LF, डेबिट, क्रेडिट. तो जर्नल प्रॉपर का भी डिटो वही है. यू कैन सी द स्पेसिमैन इज गिवन ऑन पेज नंबर 191. The journal proper of Shri, the heading, then date, particulars, ledger folio, debit and credit. Then, which are the transactions recorded in journal proper? The most important point of all. The different types of transactions recorded in journal proper are given below. You have a chart there. Classification of transactions recorded in journal proper, of which the very first is yes, the very first is opening entries. Opening entries, the explanation is given at the back. Let us understand together. Turn the page, page number 192. When a person starts his business, he brings in personal assets into the business, which is recorded in the journal proper. If you remember, while doing the chapter of journal, there was an entry. The business is commenced with so and so cash, so and so assets, if you remember. Yes, so that is called as opening entry. And those opening entries are recorded in journal proper. Yeah, is that clear? You also have an example here. Example, while starting the business, Virendra brought cash rupees 15,000, furniture of rupees 10,000, stock of goods of rupees 8,000 and personal debtors of rupees 3,000. And personal creditors of rupees 5,000 into the business. This journal entry is in the beginning of the business. Yes, so business is commenced with this, that. This is brought, this is, that is brought. By whom? By owner. Anything brought into the business by owner is capital. And this type of journal entries are called opening entries, which are recorded in journal proper. Yes? And you are supposed to write down all these points. So we have reached here. Now I will continue from here because I cannot bend too much. So let me firstly erase this and let us see which is the next journal entry. I mean the next transaction to be recorded in journal proper. So of course I am not explaining you the journal entry. इट इज़ जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल. और वो जर्नल एंट्री आपको चैप्टर 4 जर्नल में तो सिखाई हुई ही है. तो वो एग्जाम्पल जो है वो आप सॉल्व कर देंगे खुद से. सेकेंड सेज ट्रांजैक्शंस नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन अदर सब्सिडरी बुक. आई रिपीट, यहाँ से मैं यहाँ कंटिन्यू कर रही हूँ. फोर्थ पॉइंट में सेकेंड पॉइंट. All right, transactions not included. in other subsidiary books. That means the transactions which are not recorded in any other subsidiary books are recorded in journal proper. You again have an example, turn the page number 192. Transactions not included in other subsidiary books. Those transactions which cannot be included in any other subsidiary book are included in journal proper. Such transactions can be divided into three categories. First one, credit purchase or credit sale of an asset and profit or loss on its sale. You know very well that credit purchase of an asset we were not recording in subsidiary books, we were not even recording in cash book. Yes, we were recording the purchase of an asset but it was for cash. क्रेडिट पे एसेट खरीदा ऐसा ट्रांजैक्शन हमने रिकॉर्ड नहीं किया है, ना सब्सिडरी बुक्स में ना कैश बुक में. ठीक है, तो दे हैव गिवन यू एग्जांपल. लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. फॉर दैट आई नीड टू इरेज दिस पॉइंट. So transactions not recorded in other subsidiary books, of which first is transaction of credit purchase or credit sale of an asset. Example, when asset is purchased or sold for cash, it is recorded in the cash book, but if asset is purchased or sold on credit, yes, example is given now. Mehul purchased furniture of rupees 20,000 from Vivek Furniture Mart on credit. What is the journal entry for this? Furniture has been purchased. So, furniture account debit. From whom it is purchased? Vivek Furniture Mart. Furniture is an asset, debit what comes in. Vivek Furniture Mart becomes our creditor and Vivek Furniture Mart is a giver. Yes, furniture is of rupees 20,000. Of course, the amount is not paid. So, this is a credit transaction firstly and a credit transaction for purchase of an asset. This cannot be recorded in subsidiary books because it is not about purchase of goods. It is purchase of asset. Secondly, it cannot either be recorded in cash book because it is purchase of an asset for credit. Firstly, it is purchase of an asset, will not be included in subsidiary books. Secondly, it is purchase on credit, so not even in cash book. So, where is this type of transaction recorded? Recorded in journal proper. Next, sold an old machine whose book value is 10,000 to Maulik for 8,000 on credit. Machine is sold for credit. Here even furniture, the asset is purchased on credit. Now machine, again an asset, is sold on credit. But the difference is कि इस जो हम sell कर रहे हैं उसमें हमें loss हो रहा है. Machine is of rupees 10,000 and is sold for 8,000 to Maulik. So, Maulik becomes my debtor and debtors are always debited and Maulik is receiver. So, Maulik account debit, he is supposed to pay 8,000 rupees. Machine is of rupees 10,000, so loss. All the expense and loss are to be debited as per the rule of nominal account. So, loss on sale of machine. $2,000 again. What goes out? An asset, which is a machine. What is the actual price of machine? 10,000. Yes? So this is the transaction for credit purchase of an asset. This is a transaction for credit sale of an asset. That too with loss. So loss on sale of machine and the sale of machine on credit purchase of an asset. These are the transactions not included in any other subsidiary books and are to be written in journal proper. Which was the first one? It was opening entries. Secondly, this. Then an important point here is on page number 193, transactions for which subsidiary books are not kept. अब उस टाइप के ट्रांजैक्शंस जिनकी सब्सिडरी बुक्स बनाई ही नहीं जाती, मतलब नहीं रखी जाती ट्रेडर्स की तरफ से. वाई? द रीज़न कैन बी कि उसके ट्रांजैक्शंस बहुत ही कम हैं, राइट? लेट मी क्लीन द बोर्ड एंड वी कैन कंटिन्यू. Many times when the proportion of certain type of transactions is very less, a separate subsidiary book is not kept for them. Such transactions are recorded in journal proper. Understand, all traders do not keep subsidiary books for recording transactions of bills. In such situation, transactions of bill are recorded in journal proper. At times, some traders do not keep returns book, purchase returns book, sales returns book. In such situation, transaction of purchase returns or sales returns are recorded in journal proper only. What they are trying to say is कि जितनी भी subsidiary books हैं, ठीक है, sometimes it is possible कि कोई transactions का जो quantum है वो इतना कम है, तो उसके लिए अलग से सब्सिडरी बुक नहीं बनाया जाता और उसके जो ट्रांजैक्शंस हैं वो जर्नल प्रॉपर में लिख दिए जाते हैं. से फॉर एग्जांपल, सम ट्रेडर्स दे आर नॉट कीपिंग सेपरेट परचेस रिटर्न्स बुक, सेल्स रिटर्न्स बुक. ठीक है, यू नो वेरी वेल कि परचेस और सेल्स के कंपैरिजन में रिटर्न्स के जो ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं वो काफ़ी कम होते हैं. एंड ऑन द अदर साइड द ट्रांजैक्शंस रिलेटेड टू बिल्स, they are also very less in number. So instead of keeping separate subsidiary books for those purposes, the transactions being very less, they are recorded in journal proper. अगर किसी ट्रांजैक्शन से रिलेटेड अलग से सब्सिडरी बुक नहीं बनाई गई है तो वो ट्रांजैक्शंस जर्नल प्रॉपर में लिखे जाएंगे. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट, यस, वी हैव रीच्ड टू इलस्ट्रेशन 1, which says Yuvraj does not maintain separate subsidiary books for bills receivable, bills payable, purchase returns and sales returns. Pass entries of the following transactions in the journal proper. So we are supposed to prepare journal proper of Shri Yuvraj. Yes, so let us prepare the format of journal proper, which is exactly similar to journal. So you will also prepare the specimen with me so that we can write proper journal entries inside it. Take the necessary stuff. We are doing illustration 1 from chapter 8. And we are preparing journal proper of Shri Yuvraj. All right. Journal proper of Shri Yuvraj. The specimen, the format is exactly similar to journal. So let us prepare the format firstly. You are also supposed to prepare this so that we can solve the sum together. The format is exactly similar to that of journal. The very first column is of date, particulars, ledger folio number, and debit credit. All right, we have the first column here, which is of date, particulars, ledger folio number, debit amount, credit amount. Clear? Heading, the format is ready. Let us label the same. The very first column is of date, as I said. Debit, credit. All right. So now let us start writing the journal entries in journal proper. They clearly say that Mr. Yuvraj does not maintain separate subsidiary books for bills receivable, payable, purchase written and sales written. Pass necessary journal entries for following transactions in the journal proper. Firstly, which are the transactions recorded in journal proper? Opening entries, transactions not included in any other subsidiary book. Then the transactions for which separate subsidiary books are not kept. So this many transactions we are supposed to record. Also, you have a chart ahead, closing entries, inter-account transfer, adjustment entries, rectification entries, but that we are going to continue later. We are going in the order of textbook. We are doing illustration 1 right now. So, the very first transaction says, a bill of rupees 8,000 drawn on a debtor Mayur for collection of dues from him, which he accepted and returned it to us. Talking about a bill, first of all, there are two parties in the bill. Yes, एक जो बिल बनाते हैं, एक जिसके नाम का बिल बन रहा है. तो युवराज इज अस. बिल ऑफ 8,000 इज ड्रॉन ऑन अ डेटर मयूर. मयूर के नाम का बिल बना है. एंड दिस इज युवराज, विच इज अस. मिस्टर युवराज, दैट इज अस, उन्होंने बिल बनाया है मयूर के नाम का. मयूर कौन है? मयूर है डेटर. फॉर कलेक्शन ऑफ ड्यूज फ्रॉम हिम विच ही एक्सेप्टेड एंड रिटर्न्ड टू अस. युवराज ने बिल बनाया, बिल बना के मयूर को भेजा. Mayur has accepted this bill and has returned it to Yuvraj again. I repeat, युवराज हैं जो, उन्होंने बिल बनाया 8,000 का मयूर के नाम का, बिकॉज मयूर इज अ डेटर. दैट सिंपली मीन्स कि मयूर से 8,000 रुपए लेने हैं. मयूर एक्सेप्टेड दैट बिल एंड रिटर्न्ड इट टू युवराज. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड. Mayur accepted the bill. What does that mean? That Mayur signed the bill and agreed that yes, I will pay rupees 8,000. Yes, I will pay. Agree करके बिल वापस भेज दिया. Accepted का मतलब ये होता है. So this becomes bills receivable for Yuvraj and bills payable for Mr. Mayur. Is that clear? There are always two parties in the bill. The one who prepares the bill, the one who accepts the bill. Yuvraj is the owner. युवराज ने मयूर के नाम का बिल बनाया 8,000 का. मयूर जो है वो डेटर है बिजनेस का. डेटर इज अ कस्टमर. कस्टमर से पैसे लेने हैं तो उनके नाम का बिल बना, उनको भेजा गया. दैट यू आर सपोज टू पे रुपीज़ 8,000. उनको बिल भेजा. मयूर ने बिल एक्सेप्ट किया एंड येस ही सेड दैट आई विल पे, और युवराज को रिटर्न कर दिया दैट येस, इस बिल में जो डेट लिखी है, जो अमाउंट लिखा है वो मुझे पे करना है, मैंने साइन कर दिया, मैं पे कर दूंगा. Okay, so this becomes bills receivable for Yuvraj, bills payable for Mayur. कस्टमर से पैसे लेने हैं डेटर से, so this is bills receivable for Yuvraj. Yuvraj is us. For Mayur this is liability, so it is bills payable for Mayur. Now the main thing is that we are writing in the books of Yuvraj. Yes, so we'll be writing whatever is happening in our business in Yuvraj's books. We are not writing about Mayur. Mayur is my debtor and this is bills receivable for me. Bills payable for Mayur, that Mayur will be writing in his books of accounts that this is bills payable for me. I got nothing to do with this. I have to write this. So bills receivable account debit. Why debit? Because bills receivable is current asset which is similar to debtors. We have understood this definition in chapter 1 and if you don't remember then go through. Yes, so the journal entry that we are writing on yes, there is no date, so the number, this is bills receivable yes of rupees 8,000. Who is the giver? बिल के पैसे कौन देने वाला है? मिस्टर मयूर. So to मयूर अकाउंट, मयूर इज द गिवर. बिल तो मयूर ने भेजा ना साइन करके, दैट यस आई विल पे. Yes, so this is the journal entry and Mr. Yuvraj is not keeping separate subsidiary books for bills and purchase returns. So all those transactions will be recorded in journal proper. That has been already explained to you. Next, second, we accepted, yes, let us write the narration firstly. Being bill of rupees 8,000, accepted by Mayur. Bill accepted by him does not mean that he is accepting that 8,000 rupees. He is accepting those 8,000 rupees to pay, that yes, I will pay. Yeah. We accepted a bill of rupees 5,000 drawn by Ketan against his date of rupees 7,000, which we accepted and returned to him. Now understand, the second case is reverse. This is Yuvraj, this is Ketan. This is a bill. केतन ने हमें बिल भेजा. See, it is clearly written in the question. We accepted a bill of 5,000 drawn by Ketan. केतन ने हमारे नाम का बिल बनाया. We have accepted and returned it to Ketan that yes, we will pay. So here bills is payable for us, receivable for Mr. Ketan, and bill is of rupees 5,000. We are writing in the books of Yuvraj. So what we are supposed to consider payable. So this is bills payable for us. This journal entry is reverse and opposite to the first transaction. So bills payable, of course, is a liability. Bills receivable is an asset. Bills payable is a liability. तो अभी वो बिल का अमाउंट हम किसे पे करने वाले हैं? To Mr. Ketan. So let us write down the journal entry. Ketan is receiver. So Ketan account debit. To bills payable account. $5,000. Yes, being bill of rupees 5,000, your narration always starts with this word. Drawn by Ketan, accepted by us. All right. See, in the first journal entry we had drawn a bill on Mayur. So it was bills receivable. Now Mr. Ketan has drawn a bill towards us. So now it is bills payable for us. Yeah. Next. The bill accepted by Mayur was dishonored on the maturity date. Maturity date is the date on which Mayur was supposed to pay. Yeah. Dishonor of bill. This concept we have done in chapter 7 cash book and its types. हमने वहाँ पे सीखा था कि जब भी बिल डिसऑनर होता है तो उसका रिवर्स इफेक्ट आपको डालना है. Yes. So the bill which was accepted by Mayur is dishonored. So when it was accepted, the journal entry is bills receivable account debit to Mayur account. Now the bill is dishonored, so the journal entry will be reversed. So Mayur account debit to bills receivable account. Yes, whenever the bill was when the bill is accepted, this is the journal entry, and I have already taught that at the time of dishonor of the bill, the journal entry is reversed. I mean the reverse effect is to be given. Yes, so that is it. Another explanation to this is that I was supposed to receive 8,000, so I wrote bills receivable debit 8,000 to Mayur. But now actually the bill is dishonored and the amount is not received. So we have given a reverse effect. Yes, तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा कि मयूर से पैसे मिले ही नहीं मिले, मिलने वाले थे इसलिए ये जर्नल एंट्री हुई थी, पर बिल तो डिसऑनर हो गया, तो इस जर्नल एंट्री को रिवर्स करके अकाउंट क्लोज. यस, नेक्स्ट, फोर्थ ट्रांजैक्शन, returned goods of rupees 4,000 to Chetan. These goods were purchased before 10 days on 3 months credit. चेतन को गुड्स रिटर्न किए गए हैं. किसने रिटर्न किए? हमने ही रिटर्न किए हैं. इफ समवन एल्स इज रिटर्निंग तो उनका नाम मेंशन किया होता है और ऐसा इंडिकेट किया जाता है कि वो रिटर्न कर रहे हैं हमें. Here you should be able to recognize the sentence to find it out actually कि वो परचेज रिटर्न है या सेल्स रिटर्न है. तो उसके लिए आपका लैंग्वेज पे होल्ड होना चाहिए. तो ट्रांजैक्शन पढ़ के आपको पता चलेगा that what actually you are supposed to do. Returned goods to Chetan. So who is the receiver first of all? Chetan. Fourth transaction, and goods goes out which were purchased from Chetan. So this is purchase return. Goods of rupees 4,000. Yes, narration. Being goods of rupees 4,000, are returned to Chetan. अभी गुड्स रिटर्न करने की बहुत सारे रीजंस होते हैं. गुड्स आर नॉट एज पर द सैंपल, गुड्स आर नॉट प्रॉपरली पैक्ड, डैमेज्ड गुड्स एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. नेक्स्ट एंड लास्ट, फिफ्थ ट्रांजैक्शन, Pranav returned goods of rupees 2,000 which we had sold on 2 months credit. See, it is clearly written that we have sold to Pranav and then Pranav is returning. Yes, so this is sales return. So in this case goods comes in. So sales return account debit. Goods of rupees 2,000. Who is the giver? Giver? Pranav. He is the person who is returning goods. Yes. Narration. Being goods of rupees 2,000 returned by Pranav. Yes, and the illustration is complete. Lastly, you are supposed to write total. Total of both the columns should be identical. Yeah, I'm not writing, you may please do it on your own. Yeah, in each and every sum you will be doing this. जैसे आप जर्नल में टोटल करते थे वैसे आप इसमें भी टोटल करेंगे. ठीक है. So with this we have completed illustration 1, which was very easy and simple. You are just supposed to write down journal entries, nothing else. Yes, और journal entries लिखनी तो हमें आती ही है, हम बहुत अच्छे तरीके से सीख चुके हैं उसको chapter 4 में. Yes. So the next topic that we have on page number 194, special transactions not recorded in other subsidiary books. Special transactions, जो ट्रांजैक्शंस दूसरी सब्सिडरी बुक्स में नहीं रिकॉर्ड किए जाते, ऐसे कौन से ट्रांजैक्शंस हैं? फर्स्टली दे आर रिकॉर्डेड इन जर्नल प्रॉपर एंड द एग्जांपल्स आर गुड्स गिवन इन चैरिटी, गुड्स गिवन एज सैंपल्स, गुड्स टेकन फॉर पर्सनल यूज, डिसऑनर ऑफ अ बिल, बैड डेट्स, endorsement of bills receivable, loss of goods due to fire, accident, theft. Lastly, depreciation. What is depreciation? You know very well. The definition we have understood in chapter 1. Yes. So these are the special transactions not recorded in other subsidiary books. So the transactions which are not recorded in other subsidiary books are recorded in journal proper. Another thing is the transactions for which separate subsidiary books are not kept by the owner. Those transactions even are recorded in journal proper. The specimen of journal proper is just similar to that of journal. Yeah, all the transactions for credit purchase and sale of assets are recorded in journal proper. Opening entries are recorded in journal proper. Yeah, so the examples which are given here, goods given in charity, samples taken for personal use, dishonor of bill, bad dates, all this type of transactions, the journal entries for all this type of transactions are recorded in journal proper. Yes, so after this we are having illustration 2 that we'll be doing in the next lecture. Right now we have had an introduction about the chapter, little bit of theory, and on the basis of that theory we have solved illustration 1. So let me just find out the sum of similar kind if it is there in your textbook. Yes, on page number 198 in exercise you have practical examples starting. So question 4, the journal entry for question 4 and sum number 5, question 5 I mean. Yes, sum number 5 is 100% similar to this illustration 1 that we have done. So this thing you'll be doing in homework and you will let me know whatever doubts you have. Yeah, so that's all for today. We'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, stay home, stay safe and study well.